In the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning. That video is very funny. No disrespect to in the beginning, in the beginning. Okay, so let's be serious. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. If I should ask you the question, what is light or what is darkness, you would give me a definition depending on what you believe in and what you've been told or what you've been exposed to. If I ask you, what is darkness? You are likely to religiously tell me that is the absence of light. Because before I started speaking, and when I was in darkness, I was quoting a scripture. Philosophically, you might be right. But this video also seeks to address and help you rethink something about darkness you possibly have not thought before. I'm Del Quest, your Mindsurgeon. When we come back, we'll perform a little mind surgery on darkness. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're talking about darkness. And like I said, if I ask you the definition of darkness, you're likely to say is the absence of light. Okay, I agree with you to some extent, but I have some questions to ask. So in the beginning, and when God created the heavens and the earth, and darkness was upon the surface of the deep. Okay? And right after that, God says that let there be light. And there was light. The question is, where was God standing that he formed light and said, let there be light? Where was he referring to as there? These are questions that comes up when you discuss the concept of darkness, especially with religious folk. It's because they've been exposed to certain scriptures like, God is light and in him there is no darkness. It's unfortunate that when you read such scriptures, you take it literally without seeing it as a metaphor. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about darkness. But let's first talk about light with respect to colors. I am a designer. I use softwares to design. I use softwares to do animations. And sometimes even in coding, we use certain softwares. And the interesting thing about designing, especially if you're a graphic designer, is the use of the palette block, or what you call the color palette, where you have a display of different colors. It's interesting that when you study the index or the number given to the color of white and black, you have 6 F's and 6 zeros prefixed with a hash. So when it comes to white, you have a hash and 6 F's. And when it comes to black, you have a hash followed by 6 zeros. And the 0 actually stands for the fact that there's no red, blue, or green color. And so that's what gives you black. But if I should ask you what's the color of darkness, you're likely not to be able to tell me, because darkness does not have a color. Usually when we talk about darkness, our minds goes to the color black. But white can also be a form of darkness, because darkness is not a color. And so this video seeks to address and tell you that darkness is actually not the absence of light. Rather, light is the absence of darkness. Think deeply about it. You'd appreciate it when we finish this video. And so when it comes to the definition of light, it's actually a form of energy that contains pockets of energy called photons. And one of its attributes is that it travels in a straight line. That's a scientific definition. You can also have a religious definition, which has to do with certain scriptures that defines God as light and something else as darkness. We always attribute evil to darkness because in our minds we think darkness is always black. It's not the same. And that is why when the painting of the devil is done, it's usually painted as black. And this has been a contention and a discussion over the years as to why people always refer to the black race as black, that no good can come out of it. But this video seeks to address the fact that black is not always evil, and it's because we always liken darkness to black. Let me ask you the question. Have you ever heard somebody describing an object darkish red? Yes, you can say something is darkish red. So the darkness qualifies the red color, but you cannot say it's reddish dark because darkness does not have a color. In fact, it's the reduced illumination of a color in its different shades that qualifies it to be dark. And so when you say something is dark, you have to rethink it again. It is not always black. And that is why I'm seeking to address this thing and relate it to evil. There are so many scriptures you have read, possibly in the good book called the Bible or possibly in the Quran, that relates darkness to evil spirit, bad, and all of that. And on the other hand, they relate light to illumination, presence of knowledge, presence of God, and spirit. It's good. But if you've also read that scripture that says that we abide under the shadows of the Almighty, then I ask the question, what creates a shadow? It is when an object falls in the path of light that is traveling in a straight line. And so when light hits that object, something is formed, which is called a shadow. It's actually a shade of light, but in reduced form in terms of its photons. And so when it comes to darkness, I dare to say that it's another form of light, but is a form of light defined by how much light enters your eyes, how much your rods and your cones are able to interpret what is on the outside that you see by the help of light. So darkness is not a color. Darkness is actually a state in its original form. When darkness is not present, light is formed. Let me say something about darkness. You don't need much resources to generate darkness. In fact, it's the reverse. You need a lot of resources to generate light. Before I started this video, I was in darkness and it was free. For you to see me and appreciate what I'm talking about and see my face, I had to invest some money into buying a key light. Lots of money. And I have to sustain this key light so that you can see me, and it consumes electricity, and in the end I have to pay for that electricity. But if I decide to put it off, it's free. I can be in darkness. The light that shines on this earth is produced mainly by the sun in the day and the moon by night. The truth is that at night the sun never goes off. It's just that it does not shine on the other side of the globe. Does it mean the sun is off? It's not off. But when something blocks the sun rays, the originality and the form of existence, which is darkness, comes alive. When you look into the universe from space, everywhere is dark. It tells you that darkness It's in the majority and is everywhere. A lot of things are formed in darkness. Good things are formed in darkness. And in the next video, we will talk extensively about darkness and how you've seen darkness and why you have always related it with evil, bad stuff, bad deeds, and the absence of knowledge. In the next video, we will discuss more on darkness and how to help you rethink and see the good things when it comes to darkness. If you like this kind of content, kindly subscribe, like, share, and comment on this video so I can reach a wider audience. Thank you very much, and I'm out.